Hello. You're with my two friends today, usually. So this is Lucky over here. He's got his head towards the back, and Buddy over here. They see me grab this computer and they make a beeline for this chair. What I find interesting is on the meditations, etc., that I offer online, so many. I have a sacred space for women, safe space. Safe, sacred space for women online. And what's so interesting is to see all their pets usually come and join. They love it. They love it. They love it. You see the cats and the dogs, they come in, lay down. As soon as they hear me talking, they know it's time, which is so fabulous. That lets me know they like the energy. So it's good, good stuff we're doing here. These messages. Welcome to Zenful Conversations. We are here in this community every single day, and we are in year 6. We are in year 6, and thanks so much for sharing in this conversation. Most of you that come by and listen to this have been listening for years, and I just want to say how grand and delightful it's been, and how we've all been able to grow so much together. And I just appreciate you being in that space and making it the space that it is, that it's grown into, and I'm excited for the future. For more information on that, please visit zenfulconversations.com. The Book of Awakening is the book that we are following this year. The Book of Awakening, The Book of Awakening by NEPO. New York Times best-selling book described as having the life you want by being present to the life you have. And I just want us to pause with that. The last few words, being present to the life you have, being present to the life you have. What kind of thoughts come up? And that's why this is such a worthwhile conversation. I mean, to me, it's everything. And I'm just beginning to understand. But I had that training with Eckhart Tolle last year. It was amazing, a 5-month virtual training with Eckhart Tolle and Kim Ang. And it was Becoming a Teacher of Presence is the course that I took. And I'll tell you, it was very interesting. But to be followed up by these daily messages in the Book of Awakening, talking about being present every day I'm not leaving this subject. So I don't know how the format's going to change next year, but I don't see me leaving this subject. So it's just fascinating, and I'm really loving it. I love the energy of it. I love what it does to me. I love the energy that it sends out, and just love everything about it. And so do the animals. To me, that's kind of something there. The message we are offered today, this day number 2058, is titled Questions Put to the Sick, number 3. And there's a quote here offered to it. It was a question put to the sick by a Native American medicine man. When was the last time you told your story? Stories are like little time capsules. They carry pieces of truth and meaning over time. And whether it is a myth from 4,000 years ago or your own untold story from childhood, the meaning waits like a dry ration. Only by the next telling does it enlarge and soften to become edible. It is the sweat and tears of telling things that brings the meaning out of its sleep as if no time has passed. It is in the telling that heals. I believe that. And I believe in that, and that holds a sacred space as one of the reasons right there. Get it out. Often we repeat stories, not because we are forgetful or indulgent, but because there is too much meaning to digest in one expression. So we keep sharing the story that presses on our heart until we understand it all. I remember my first fall in love, how deep the fall and how painful the landing. When it was over, when she left me for other loves, I was devastated. Throughout my college days, my sadness was a wound that needed air. And each telling of my story, though even strangers grew tired of hearing it, each telling of her sudden eyes and her sudden leaving was a stitch that healed the wound in my heart. And when my mother-in-law lost her husband of 55 years, when I sat with her 2 weeks later, after all the flowers and speeches, she stared into that moment of his passing and told me over and over of his last breath and of finding him slumped in his chair. At first, I thought her adrift, but realized this was how she was trying on the meaning of her grief. Like a shaman or a monk, she was chanting the mantra of her experience until its truth was released. Imagine how many times Paul told the story of being knocked off his horse by God. He did so most likely because with each telling, he was brought deeper into revelation. Or how many times Moses told of his meetings with God. He did so, I imagine, because with each telling, he saw God more clearly. Or how many times Lazarus told of being brought back to life by Jesus. He did so, no doubt, because with each telling, he was brought deeper into his reawakening. The truth is that though we think we know what we are about to say, the story tells us and saves us in the same mysterious way that breathing is always the same but different. Boy, I could say a lot, and I think I'm just gonna let us digest it for a breath. The meditative exercise that we are offered today asks us to sit with a trusted loved one and take turns. Meditate on the markings of your heart. Pick one marking and watch how it changes as you breathe. And after a while, tell the story of how you came to have this mark on your heart and how it affects you today. An honest gratitude. Thanks for sharing your light with me. Namaste. See you tomorrow.